Last time on the Thick Lord's Journal. It even looks like the place of the thick thighs. Ah, yes, you're listening to my journal. The Thick Lord, as a matter of fact. I found people who did not believe in fishnets and golf chicks and thick thighs. And my hand was forced. I had to put them down. And no. Yes, my thighs. Not just hers. Until I hit him and realized that he was, in fact, a pussy bitch. Gain reputation, to gain renown for the thick thighs. So I had to grab some grapes. Because who doesn't fucking love grapes? I knew it was time to get back to work, and I had to start working quick if I was ever going to spread the word fully. The cult has to begin. But to clear my mind, I think there was only one thing that I needed to do first, and that is get some really good pussy cat. Um, I do in fact really like cats. Anyways, Goldshire, the place of dreams, the place where the news become gods, the place where you can meet people who are in fact interested in the thick thighs, or at least I thought that was the case. I did run into this gentleman who I thought was going to be interested in those thick thighs, but come to find out, he's in fact just kind of a dickhead. But alas, any opportunity I take, I have to take. I have to spread the word. I have to make sure everyone knows of the thick thighs. I need money. The only way that I'm going to get any further is to be able to start a guild. Pumpkins rule. But, like I said, I do in fact need money. Otherwise, how am I going to, and fuck this guy, how am I going to start a cult? So I had to get to business. I had to start working. I had to start grinding. And the best way to do that is to do tax for the city. I ran into our friend again out in the wild. It was kind of unusual. I can sense that he wants to help, that he wants to join the cause, but he's still on the fence. I told him that I'd reach out to him at a later time, or for him to tell me when he's ready to pledge his life. I encountered some very scary encounters. I thought that I was going to die many times on this day. But I knew going forward that these tasks, these quests to gain money, to gain renown for the thick thighs were only going to get harder. They were only going to get more difficult. These are the days that I realized that time is limited, that we aren't here forever, and that we need to chase after our dreams before it's too late. And killing people with candles on their head is a task that I have to do. After the murder, I decided to go by and see your mother. She's doing well, don't worry. And I went back to town and was hanging out with my homie Remy 2 times. You know why they call him 2 times, right? If you don't know, you don't want to know. It's bad. But the city seems to be more dead than it used to be. There's hardly anyone there. There's hardly any active quests. There's hardly any way for a man to make money. So, of course, I had to head to my hometown, where I'm from, where the thick thighs originated, and that is Stormwind. I know there's a lot of opportunity here, and a lot of folk who are ready to hear the word. And it is up to me, and me alone, to spread that word, to form the most diabolical cult that's ever existed in Azeroth. Will you follow? Before going much further, I did need to find something to quench my thirst. Farewell. A little bit of brews, a little bit of wine, and of course, one for the homies. That was until I had my first heartbreak. This beautiful woman on her ram. She acknowledged me. She looked at me. And I shot my shot. Only to be ghosted. It hurt. It was devastating. I was not used to this form of rejection. Not even words. Like I didn't even exist. It hurt deep down, but there's only one way to move forward. Show my emotions and move on as a man to become stronger. After hours of venturing through Stormwind and gathering materials, I was back out on the road. I was back out venturing, finding new people, finding new tasks to complete, to gain money, to gain reputation. And I found myself at a place that seemed to be stuck in the past. An old farmstead, riddled with drama, riddled with theft, and riddled with tasks that need completion. I first ran into Auntie stuck in a washing machine, and she was missing her prized pearl necklace. I, of course, arose to the challenge and accepted her quest to give her a pearl necklace. It was time to get to work. I was not going to end up like Remy 2 times or Remy 2 pumps. I knew I had to get stronger. I had to go find who took her necklace. It led me to this dumb little idiot child. He was the last one that had taken her necklace, but he wanted to be a little cunt and made me do tasks for him before he would tell me where the goddamn necklace is. If I could late term abort him, I would have. But sadly, I just have to do what has to be done. Then I ran into the biggest piece of shit here. And that is Mary Bell. Mary Bell wanted me to deliver her love letter to some guy named Tommy. What the fuck does she look like? Or what the fuck do I look like to her? A goddamn mailman? Guess what? Tommy's not getting your message. Fuck you, Mary Bell. I've regretted to inform everyone that I needed to go back to Stormwind. My followers, the cult that's beginning. I forgot to visit the most important part of Stormwind. My trainer, the other lord, the one who has taught me everything I know about the thick thighs and the goth chicks and fishnets. He would be very, very upset if he knew that this wasn't my first visit back. But he doesn't need to worry about that. Upon arriving, I did find our priest's altar boy again. Not a big fan of Thomas. He's a little dickhead. But I couldn't waste any more time. I had to go talk to my lord, to the one who's pulling the strings. I needed to train. I needed to become stronger if I were to be able to complete the tasks that are ahead of me. He was not happy that I didn't come and see him on my first trip. He found out. People told him. Snitches told him. But alas, I got the training I needed and found myself with another beautiful woman. I had to let her know that she was a double C for thick. But I needed to get back out on the road. But I'll never, ever miss the opportunity to recruit. Even if it is with some sort of weird horse creature. I'm not sure what they are. Everyone is welcome in the Thick Thighs Save Lives cult. This person already knew about him. It was very familiar. Gave me an interesting answer of, like, they are an owner of the Thick Thighs. But you never assume, because assuming makes an ass out of you and me. I did let her know that I will send her a letter, a flyer, when we get assembled. And she seems interested. I think our number's up to 4 or 5 now. The cult is growing stronger. I took the time to reach back out to our friend we met early on, who was curious about the thick thighs. Even though he was rude, I knew that some simple words to a simple man might persuade him enough. And maybe he would like to be the early funder of our cult. Yes, I know, you might be thinking cults are bad, but I'm going to die one day. And when I do, it becomes a religion. It was back out on the grind. Have that grinding mentality. One way to make money is obviously mining. But the most important part is I needed to take out some less fortunate individuals. A bounty, you can call it, on these bandits. But these bandits were no pushovers. They were strong. They were ready to battle. They even almost took me out. I did a lot of reflecting after this fight. A lot of soul searching. And I realized I can't just be so easy on these people.
Well met. How are you? You need
After doing so, I returned to Auntie. And
safe travels.
I found out I had to do something that I've already done. I had to venture into those goddamn caves with those stupid candle-headed fucks. Yes. The person who has her necklace is inside these caves. But I found myself in some very dangerous fights with multiple people ganging up on me. It was difficult. I almost lost my life for a third time. But I prevailed. I went deeper into this mine until I finally came across him. That's right. This is the son of a bitch who has stolen her necklace. And I will return it to her. In really thick ropes. I was worried that his lackeys, plus himself, were going to be a challenge. But they did not realize that I brought the BDE to every single fight. They got me close. It was scary. One more hit and I could have been in the ground and withered away in this cave forever. But little did they know that my drive, my power, we stay hungry and we devour. We take what's ours. It's that simple. We never give up. We will always prevail. After gathering the necklace, I returned to give Step Auntie the pearl necklace she deserves. And after all this running around and venturing, she gave me the absolutely worst pair of gloves I've ever seen in my fucking life. What a waste of my goddamn time. I didn't even get to bed her. Why did I waste all my time? These were all the thoughts I was having until I realized that I can't have that mindset. That sometimes you just have to do tasks for the greater good, even if you aren't happy with the reward. Because that is how you become stronger. That is respect. That is strength. And speaking of strength, I realized that I need to start mentally preparing for the battle that is to come. The hardest and most difficult fight that I have had so far is upon us. I arrived at the pumpkin patch, as pumpkins still rule, and I knew it was time to fight Princess. I haven't battled a pig like this since my ex-wife. And I hope, unlike that fight, I don't leave mentally scarred for the rest of my life. For a battle with a pig like this is no easy task. It takes a lot of strength, it takes a lot of determination, and it takes a lot of power. They hit very hard, they hit deep, they go after your insecurities, like your small dick, and they bring it up just to put you down. But if you practice self-healing, you can't conquer that. You can defeat the pig. You can defeat your inner demons. And you can definitely defeat your ex-wife. For I have today conquered the hardest task so far. Not as challenging as I thought it was going to be. But that is because I am the Thick Lord. And everyone will come to know it. And again, your mother is doing just fine. It was time to collect my rewards for this long and challenging chapter. Lots of bandits, lots of pigs, and lots of fun. But we finally have the reward. That's right, boys. The Red Shirt Gang is back to represent the thick thighs that save lives. Put on your red shirts, everybody, because we're going in. Upon returning to Goldshire to close out my day, I decided to reflect. I decided that I was going to take up something that I did when I was just a wee lad. Some blacksmithing. And the best part of this is it gives you peace of mind. It allows you to gather your thoughts while doing menial tasks. It allows you to prepare yourself for what's to come. For I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if we will be able to take over the world. For all I know, I can die tomorrow. And only the few people that I've interacted with may know of my passing. But this gets me motivated. This makes me excited for every single day to come. For I know if I try my hardest, good things will come to me. And just like this ore smelting into bars, I can smelt myself into a beautiful bar of big dick energy and gold. It's time to go and conclude this day, to conclude this chapter and this evening with a nice rest at the Goldshire Inn, a brew in hand, and a job well done. It's important to have self-love and know that you are the main character in your own story. For otherwise, what is the point of having a story? What is the point of living if you're not taking advantage of every single one of those days? Remember that just like me, you too can create a cult and conquer the whole world. It just takes a lot of drive and energy and power. Motivation doesn't come easy to us. But as long as you have a goal, you can achieve anything.